That really busy week that we all thought Manchester United were going to have this week, well, it's turning into a reality. We have breaking news, updates and everything all over the place on all targets. Manchester United, Mazraoui, Wan-Bissaka, Agate, Scott McTominay. Who else do you want to throw in there? Throw them at me. Let me know if you've sounded anything out or you found anything out there right now. I think we're all looking at the same thing, and I think we need to get into a big discussion about it, starting with the obvious ones as well. This is your Manchester United update, your evening show here on Forever United TV. Everybody, welcome along. Get your chats in the live section right now. Please make sure you've subscribed, get involved, be part of this amazing community here on FUTV. Give the video a like. I want another 800. I am in full-on greedy mode today. Make it happen, people. We've got loads of news to talk about, so loads of interesting topics for you guys to get your teeth into as well. And yes, it's been one of them crazy, mad, manic days for Manchester United news. We get them quite often at this football club, but one of them days where we knew it was coming, it's just happening right now, and then we're looking at it and trying to decide amongst ourselves as a fan base whether it is a positive day or not, because we talked about Scott McTominay early on this morning. Some saying we should be keeping him. The shows earlier on today saying keep Scott McTominay. Is Agate worth the risk? All of that conversation going on, and like, are we really getting an upgrade with Mazraoui on Wan-Bissaka? That one keeps on rolling on, but we have concrete information on this move moving rapidly forward right now, which is where we're going to start with the show today. Mazraoui and Wan-Bissaka situation in full. We'll start with obviously the news that was broken earlier on by Florian Plettenberg, who has been all over this right now in terms of Manchester United, Wan-Bissaka, obviously Mazraoui as well. The first tweet that came out from him was, West Ham have reached an agreement with Wan-Bissaka on personal terms. The agreement between the clubs is still missing. West Ham have made an offer of about £10 million to Manchester United, and the Reds are demanding 18 million. First of all, don't even bother. 10 million, forget it. Does not matter. We are turning it down. There's not a chance in hell that Wan-Bissaka is worth 10 million if Scott McTominay is worth 25 plus. United will not sell Wan-Bissaka to West Ham. Definitely not. We will haggle it out. I think West Ham agreeing personal terms. It's just the trend and it's the way it goes. That's happening now. At least that's another side of it done. United happy to release Wan-Bissaka. West Ham have agreed personal terms with him. He's happy to move to West Ham, and now United and West Ham are just in the process of crunching the numbers and trying to get a deal. Pretty much like we are with Scott McTominay. We are far down the line in all of these deals now, where it's just a case of the clubs agreeing terms. Pretty much like we said earlier on with the where we're at with Matthews de Ligt and Agate on our side of things. Agreements in place for personals for both players, and now negotiating with the selling club to try and get a deal over the line and get everything finalised. That's where we're at with Wan-Bissaka right now. Mazraoui on the other side of things, fully agreed. I think Manchester United have an agreement as well, pretty much in place with Bayern Munich on that. Plettenberg did come back with more updates on Wan-Bissaka, but then our man Santiano came in with the Mazraoui side of things, and he said Manchester United have informed Mazraoui that the deal will be finalised. The defender is awaiting the green light to leave Bayern Munich's tour of Korea right now. Now, we did speak earlier on regarding Wan-Bissaka, and the news has come out this afternoon after the show that West Ham and Manchester United were both pushing to try and get the Wan-Bissaka deal done this weekend. Obviously, that would then conclude the Mazraoui deal at the same time, but there is a very hard push from both West Ham United and Manchester United to get Wan-Bissaka finalised this weekend. So this could be done as soon as that. It begs the question, how many deals will United actually get done now? With what we're talking about and what we have been talking about player-wise over these last 2 days, I've put that into the poll. How many players do you think Manchester United will bring in this window now? 2, 3 or 4? And that's from this point now. How many more after Xerxes and Euro? So you've got 2, 3 or 4. Even more if you wanted to say that. But I think, I've said it all along, I think United will get 4 players in. If we sell Wan-Bissaka, we get rid of Victor Lindelof, which it looks like we're doing, and it now positively looks like we're getting rid of Scott McTominay, then Manchester United will be bringing in another 4 players this summer. I can't see how we can carry on without doing that. Yes, we've got a couple of young lads coming through, but you cannot rely on them solely for these games and these games to rotate within. We've got issues with injuries anyway, as we're already seeing this summer. So Manchester United need to bring in at least another 4 players in different departments, 2 more centre-backs, right-back, centre midfield. I think that's the most popular areas right now. So let's just look at what happens over the next few days in terms of Mazraoui and Wan-Bissaka. That's a dead cert now. That is a dead cert. Another dead cert is obviously the fact that Scott McTominay is going to be leaving Manchester United. Another update on him coming up in a moment. Gupta with the super chat. Hi Adam, keep up the good work. Do you think McTominay will leave? If not, then I fear going into the new season with the same midfield roster, Scott will go, mate. He will go. I've got a big update on Scott McTominay coming up, guys, so stay tuned on that one. Something I didn't sort of expected, and there has been noises about it before, but didn't expect it to come out in a way that it did today. But yeah, talking about Aaron Wan-Bissaka and that one getting done, it's a deal that Manchester United and all fans knew was going to happen. We knew it was in the pipeline and was around the corner. It was just a case of agreeing. Now we're looking, again, this is perfect opportunity for people to judge Ineos and how good they are at their jobs. I'll keep saying it and keep going back. I'll keep saying, look, we cannot help what was done before. Ineos are dealing with what they've got. They're going to do the best of what they can. Honestly, if this was the Manchester United's old regime and we had these players that we were looking to sell all in top form, I still don't think they would have been able to get the same amount of money as what Ineos are going to get for these deals. That's how bad it is. And that's how bad it was before, but not anymore. Manchester United, under Ineos, with Scott McTominay on 1 year left of his deal, they will get over 25 million for him. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we will get about 15 million for him. I think Lindelof will be 10 million. And then we're looking at everyone else past that, possibly, Hannibal, Pellistri and Jadon Sancho. They're the other players that I can see leaving Manchester United this summer. And obviously leading into what I said a minute ago there with the fact that we need to bring at least 4 players in to replace these guys. Thanks for the super chats and everything like that. I did want to just say something very, very quickly. I was supposed to say it last night, but I got carried away with all of the content. But a regular in the chat, member and subscriber of the channel, Luke Casey, has lost his friend to prostate cancer. I just wanted to put a big shout out there for him and say sorry, but obviously just to make people aware, like, it is a big thing with men. Go get checked out. If you've got any concerns at all, please do. We like to keep as many people in our chats and our community as possible. We are one big family here and we need to have everyone's backs all of the time, but it is a big thing with men. So please do go check it out. And sorry for your loss, Luke. It's gutting when things like that happen, especially when it's a close friend like you said it was. I just wanted to say that just to get it out there. There's more important things than football. That is one of them. So please just look after yourselves, guys, as well. Let's get into the chat actually now then, guys, and see what you guys... I keep calling you all guys. Sorry, everyone goes on about it all the time. We're like fully American on this channel. I do have a feeling that they're going to be for... a marquee signing for shirt sales like a Tony or a Watkins, says Regan. I personally can't see it with Ineos. I can't. Director of Football says less max effort types players and more technical type players are needed. Erik ten Hag must change the style to keep his job, as Ineos have stated top 4 isn't enough this season. It will be very interesting. Well, they've said that top 4 wasn't a problem and they wanted to see progression within the squad more than anything. So we will see if Ineos have got a target that they want ten Hag to meet, and if they act on it if he doesn't meet it. It's all an interesting season ahead for us. Exciting in so many different ways, but yeah, intrigue, jeopardy, everything involved. And obviously expectations are very high right now because no matter what's happened with the likes of Euro and Hoyland over pre-season tour, there is still a very positive vibe going around the United fan base. I found that yesterday outside Old Trafford. I found it with a lot of people in the chat, and everyone is still upbeat about what is actually happening. So yeah, let's look at it that way and go aim high and let's finish a little bit below it, and you always finish in a better position. So aim for the top, then if you don't make it, at least you're in a comfortable position, and that's top 4. So yeah, that's how it works. Branthwaite, Agate and Mazraoui with possible one more, says Richard. Sticking to that Branthwaite deal, still thinks he's coming in. And see what else we've got here. Ineos have been in for 5 months. It will take a while to repair the damage from the last 20 years of the Glazer influence / ownership. Yes, it will. HW Sim Racing, sorry. Missed the sim bit, mate. Sorry about that. But yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, it will. It'll take a very long time for Ineos to rid Manchester United of the old ways and the failures of the past decade or two at the football club. Keep your comments coming in again on Wan-Bissaka and Mazraoui, guys. You happy that that's being done? I think we've covered enough of it. That was pretty much an update on Mazraoui and Wan-Bissaka. I'll move on to the next story in line, and which is obviously Scott McTominay. There is an update on Agate coming up as well, guys. Scott McTominay news. Now, we were talking first thing this morning. Well, not first thing, but a couple of things have happened with Scott McTominay since we was live at lunchtime. So, just in, and this has come from Duncan Castles. Fulham are expected to make another improved offer for Scott McTominay. Galatasaray have also made an improved offer for Scott McTominay. 17 million. It's not going to happen, is it? We talked about this earlier on. They need to go some to get anywhere near. Like, Scott's happy to go to Galatasaray, but understands that the club comes first. That's the professional that Scott McTominay is, and we need to put some credit on his head for that at least as well. And Manchester United will not sell Scott for 17 million. They're turning down 23, that's quite apparently, for Scott McTominay from Fulham. There is another twist, and this is the one I was telling you about as well. Tottenham are strongly linked and interested in signing Scott McTominay. Now, there's a club that does have a little bit of money. Højbjerg has gone as well. He has been flogged now from Spurs. Do they need that new strong man in midfield? That presence there that can cause problems? Scott will score more goals than Højbjerg will. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. And we have sort of touched on this before. I think it was a few weeks ago about Ange talking about Scott when he was working for the Euros. I can't remember. He was working for ITV, and he touched on it then. But there are people saying, and strong links, that Tottenham are interested in Scott McTominay. This is all adding together and making it clear that Scott is going to be leaving. As soon as another fish comes into the pond, everyone starts to panic and grab what they possibly can before he comes and swallows everything up. And this is what the effect will be right now. Galatasaray bidding for Amrabat. We're waiting on Jose's move on this as well because they're interested. Obviously, we're expecting Fulham to come in now. They've been chasing him for a whole year and some now from last summer's transfer window. If Spurs come in, they're not going to want to lose him to Spurs. So expect another bid definitely coming in from Fulham. We know that already. This is just a bidding and negotiation game right now. But Spurs could just go and go bang. We want him. And that just throws everything up into the air. What do Fulham do then? Spurs come in and match their offer. Scott goes Spurs. You know it's going to happen. He's got Europa League football. And he's playing in one of the best stadiums in the world. A progressive manager, very attacking football. Probably not look to be doing as much defending with the way that Ange plays and sets up. I mean, Spurs does have a good vibe about it at the moment, doesn't it? So Fulham have to be careful. And if they're not looking, if they don't want to lose Scott McTominay, then they're going to have to get their act together and get a move on and get another bid in for Scott. Because if Spurs come in, then I think it's game over. I think the writing's on the wall. He will go to Spurs, guaranteed. It is a better opportunity for him. Apart from Galatasaray and Champions League football or Fenerbahce, but I just don't see either one of the Turkish clubs coming in with enough money to tempt Manchester United into selling him. Even though, like we've already said, and we did talk about it this morning, Scott McTominay has agreed personal terms to go to Istanbul. So, yeah, I don't see anything changing with Scott McTominay going abroad unless Galatasaray miraculously, and I think it will be close to a record fee for them in terms of what they've paid for a player before. If they come in with that, then everything changes. I think United would gladly take Scott out of the Premier League and sell him to Galatasaray because they don't want to run into him again. And it's always the bigger option. I think this is why United have sort of just took their time. It's like they've just dealt with Fulham, egged them along. They would prefer selling Scott out of the Premier League, definitely. So, yeah, you look at it that way, you can understand it a little bit more, I think, as well. He definitely He's definitely playing at a higher level, obviously Champions League, and he's got a great chance of winning trophies. So that's how I see it. I do. Get your comments in, guys, on this. Scotty to Spurs. Spurs won't go for him, and he will be on the bench. He will be a bench player for them at best too. If he wants to start games, he needs to go to a mid-tier club. Fulham is better option, but even there, does he start? Listen, Spurs wouldn't buy Scott and put him on the bench constantly. I think he gets a spot in their side. I do. I think Angie's moving things around. I think he'll have a role. I get it. Like, he will have to spend some time out. Like, there will be a rotation because of the way that Ange plays. But I think everybody's accepting of that when they go to Spurs, because he does change it up. And he does like to mix his players around, because he is high-intensity football, Ange. So if you are going to play that way all the way through the season, you need a big squad. You need an energetic squad, and an understanding within that squad that you are going to be getting rest time. You're going to be having time out. Over 200 likes in the bag already, guys. Thank you. We're only 15 minutes in. Let's get them up. Surely we can hit that 500 live mark again, guys, can't we? Over 800 in the room with us watching, guys. Let's see if we can get them likes and moving, everybody. Spurs just for the stadium, says Nick Hughes. How bad are the injuries to Højlund and Euro and Rashford? Neil, if you are just joining us, this is our 4th show of the day, so you've probably missed out a bit. In terms of Euro, he's out for 3 months, mate. We're not going to see him till November, official. Rasmus Højlund is out for 6 weeks. We're not going to see him until the back end of September. And Marcus Rashford is okay. Of course he is. Rashford doesn't do injuries that much. I think in the end it was a bit of a knock, but I think he'll be all right. The pictures of him walking out on his own definitely put the confidence in a lot of people that he will be okay. He will. But yeah, that's your update on the injuries there for you, Neil, mate. McTominay, great professional, but not good enough. Thanks for the years and good luck, says Gricker. Elite baller. Adam, thoughts on Sancho was better last game. What about you? Honestly, mate, don't care that much about Jadon Sancho. He played in that false 9 again. It's not going to work for United, I don't think. Yeah, better game. But I didn't think he was bad against Rangers, mate, to be honest. I just look at him and I go, he's not ahead of Ahmad. He's never going to be ahead of Marcus Rashford. When Højlund comes back, not ahead of him. Zirkzee a new signing, a Dutch signing. Not just saying it because he's Dutch and Ten Hag's Dutch, but you know what I'm saying, if you get my drift. He's going to be behind him. And then you've got Garnacho behind him. Anthony's going to be pushing. He's not going to be happy if Sancho does all of these misdemeanors, then comes back and gets in front of him. And obviously, Ten Hag has already come out and defended Anthony, so he's going to put him. Where does he fit in? How far down the pecking order is he? He needs to be sold. Eric Ten Hag will have to get Obi on the bench for cover. He will. We've got Wheatley as well. Let's not forget. I think he might get some loan time, Wheatley, going off how everything is right now and what's happening. But maybe they'll just think about keeping him around in case now with the injury to Rasmus Højlund. You don't know when this is going to happen again, so make sure that you're covering all areas of the pitch. Strength in depth and sending players out on loan or sending players back from loan was a big mistake Manchester United made last season. We had a lot of players that could have done us or done a job for Manchester United that were out at other football clubs, and we just didn't organise ourselves the right way. Some would argue Scott McTominay is that type of player. Well, I do think that if Scott goes, obviously we're in the realm now with Manuel Ugarte. I think they're going to bring Rabiot in. I do. I think Rabiot will be another player United bring in. Personally, if you're asking me now, I think Mazraoui, Matthias de Ligt, Rabiot and Ugarte, they're United's players. I think that's who we're looking at, and that's who we're in deep conversations with right now. Personally, going off the news and what's happening, I'm going to go back into the news for you guys and go through everything else that's been said as well, because we had some updates on Manuel Ugarte after the show finished earlier on. So, reading into it, first of all, one from Sky Sports came. PSG do not want to sell Manuel Ugarte for less than 70 million euros. 58.9 million, and that's changed again. It changes daily, doesn't it? But these are the up-to-date reports so far today. Their aim is to make a profit on what they paid for Ugarte when they signed him last summer for a reported 60 million euros. They're quite within the right to want to do that as well. More reports on Ugarte is Manchester United's offer for Manuel Ugarte has been 42 million and not moved from that mark. PSG are consistently saying they will not sell the player at a discount. They want 50 million that they paid that they paid for him back. That's from Duncan Castles again. Manuel Ugarte's entourage are confident that he is a Manchester United's first choice and that a resolution will be found. Also, on to more regarding the midfield. Manchester United have begun to look for alternatives to Manuel Ugarte. Martin Zubimendi is an option, but he has a high release clause. PSV's Joey Veerman as well is a player being looked at. Discussions have taken place with free agent Adrien Rabiot, like we just said. Sander Berg is also an option being discussed. He will almost certainly leave Burnley this summer. That's a bit of a no-go for me. Like, I understand we're looking for this, like, the clever signings, but Sander Berg, no, definitely not. Veerman doesn't really do much for me personally. I don't think we're talking major upgrades here. Zubimendi and Rabiot, I would look at them two and say definitely better than Scott McTominay. 100% in Zubimendi's case, he would be the player. But again, if United are always stuck at around about that £42 million mark, it's about 50 million release clause for Zubimendi. I can't see them going for him either. But that's the update on the midfield situation at Manchester United right now. And Duncan Castles came in after that and then was giving us the news regarding Scott McTominay being an actual target for Spurs as well this summer. So, yeah. Adam, you're brutal. Sell Sancho. He was in the Champions League final whilst Bruno stayed. He was shocking in the Euros. Bruno saved us, Shiver. I am brutal. I don't want Jadon Sancho at the football club, mate. I'd rather sell him and bring someone else in, personally. And let's be honest, has he had 4 good games in a row for Manchester United while he's been here? No. He's kicking up a stink. He cost us a fortune. We were absolutely shafted by Dortmund for Jadon Sancho. He has done nothing to prove to me that he warrants a place in the team just off form, never mind what he's done off the pitch. So, yeah, not interested in Sancho. Like, prove me wrong, Jadon. I don't honestly see him getting in this team, though. He's behind everyone right now. You can argue some of the qualities he's got, he's ahead of certain players, but because of what he's done, is he going to be willing to sit on the bench for this amount of time while he earns his way back in? Like you said, this is the guy that played in the Champions League final. Does he think more of himself now? And does he see himself actually playing regular football for Manchester United? All the reports are saying that Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho are still at, well, not so much loggerheads, but there are still disagreements there, and it's not one of them situations that can be repaired. That's all of the news and the stories going around regarding them two right now. But guys, let me know regarding the Ugarte. We talked about the loan situation this morning. Romano with Ugarte saying that there is an option for Manchester United. If they want to go down the loan route, PSG would be open. Like we said before, though, with that lucrative offer or option to buy Ugarte with this loan. So, like we said earlier on, an option would be Manchester United paying quite a chunky loan fee and not owning the player. Or United could do the obligation to buy, not pay anything now, and then completely commit to buying Ugarte for PSG's price next summer, which would be the better option. Into the chat we go. Director of Football says Ugarte and Zubimendi will offer the same thing in a new system. Either are good cover succession for Kaz future tense. I would still go Zubimendi ahead of Ugarte. I think he's better on the ball, mate, personally. I think he's miles ahead, actually, in terms of on the ball. Can't see any of our 200k plus per week players leaving. We have to accept that some of them are just going to see these contracts out, and then we'll be back to, then we'll be getting rid of them. Naturally going on a free transfer or something like that. That's what will happen. Sancho, Rashi, left wing this season. Amad Garnacho, right wing this season. Xerxes covering both of them positions as well. Where does Anthony fit in? I said it before and I put it out on Twitter. I said Amad is ahead of Rashford. He's ahead of Sancho. He's ahead of Garnacho. He's ahead of Anthony. He's ahead of 4 players fighting in positions he can play in right now. Amad, do you guys agree on that one? Almost at 300 likes, guys. Keep them likes coming in, people. Why does United need to find such large gains this season? Why not look to stem the bleeding and build a foundation without spending so much on each player? I think we are doing. We're not sort of looking to spend, like, us having our bids not accepted tells you that Manchester United are not bidding what like we used to bid. Like, we're not going right in at the top end. We didn't do what we did with Mason Mount. We didn't go, how much do you want? Oh, we want about 50 million. There you go. There's our first bid, 50 million. That was just ridiculous. Now we've got proper operators in place. At least we can be a little bit confident that they're not going to go over the top. That's how you have to look at it, I think. Explain how we are better off than last season. Well, the transfer window wasn't finished yet. Simple. And we have a lot of deals in the offing. So we will be better. Right now, no, because we've got an injured Euro, an injured Højlund, a guy in Xerxes who's not played a minute yet, and obviously we've lost Raphael Varane as well. So, yeah, we are worse off right now, but I'm looking at it and going, transfer window has still got a month to run, and Manchester United have a lot of deals in the offing right now, 4 in fact, that we can pretty much say we are well and truly deep into negotiations with. So that should give you a little bit of confidence that we can get at least 4 more deals done. I think getting people out, that's the big one. Again, if Scott goes, that's a big statement for Manchester United. And again, guys, just to recap everything, if you are just joining us right now, your update at this time is Manchester United and Bayern Munich are in constant communications over Mazraoui. Apparently, his people have been told the deal will be concluded soon. That after we got news from Florian Plettenberg from Sky Germany to say that personal terms have been agreed with Wan-Bissaka and West Ham. The only thing now left to do is the price to be agreed for the players' transfer between West Ham and Manchester United. And then that move will happen, of automatically triggering Mazraoui, who, by his reports from that side, is waiting to leave Bayern Munich's tour over in Korea to come and join Manchester United, do his medicals. Agate, PSG is standing firm. The loan, I don't know if United are going to go for it. I don't know if they've got cold feet because of what PSG are offering. We know no details about it yet. All we know is that they want 70 million euros. It's gone higher than what it was the other day, which is about 58 million quid for Agate. United are at 42. Agate's people think that this deal can still be had and are confident it will happen, being Manchester United's #1 midfield target. Matthias de Ligt is back in Germany tomorrow. I'm just going to bring up the updates on this one for you guys so you've got it. And this has come from Rasmus. Sorry, I'm reading out something else there at the wrong time. Let me just double check, guys. 1 second. Where's that story? Bleeding gone. Right, sorry about this, everyone. Yeah, but Florian Plettenberg has basically come out and said that, as scheduled, Matthias de Ligt will be back tomorrow after his holidays. No drama. Will not be going out on tour with the rest of the Bayern Munich squad. Will stay at home to do all his medical stuff, checks and everything. He will be fully professional, no matter what the situation and how this summer finishes. Even though he's agreed with Manchester United and told Bayern Munich he wants to leave, he will still be fully professional, as you'd expect for someone that high up and that good, and as respected as he actually is as well. He's known as a good leader and everything like that, a role model in football, in fact, and you'd expect him to be fully professional in this situation. Anything but would be a massive surprise. But yeah, constant communication now between Manchester United and Bayern Munich is a word that Plettenberg has gone through. Bayern want 50 plus add-ons. United don't. They may stretch to 50, including add-ons. That's where we're at with the 4 players that Manchester United are looking to bring in. Your update on Scott McTominay from earlier on is that Fulham will come in with another bid. Galatasaray have come in with another bid this afternoon, which is way short. Fulham are leading the way with a £23 million bid, as we said this morning from Samuel Luckhurst. A few other people have jumped onto that. We're now hearing that Tottenham are also interested in Scott McTominay, and we were just discussing if Scott would go straight to Tottenham if they came in with a bid rather than Fulham. I said yes, he would. I don't think he was going to turn down. I don't think he's going to turn down Spurs. Right, other news as well. Quickly, Manchester United are also looking at Fabian Ruiz, but expensive. Yeah, of course we're looking at Fabian Ruiz. That would be the gold signing right there if we got Fabian Ruiz. I cannot see this happening. Not in a million years are we getting Fabian Ruiz this summer. Definitely not, I don't think. Yes, Adam, loving your content, watching your subscriber count rise by the day. Much love. Steve Mack, loved that comment. Thank you very much. Give the video a like, guys. We're over 300. Let's see what else we've got in here. Hope we don't pay silly money to PSG. Just more of the same. Big money for Euro already. Would rather promote the youngsters than panic buy a second or third choice target. They're not primary targets for a reason. Strong words from Kaz there. No, it does not. It goes year by year. Regan, I'm not sure what you're talking about there, mate, actually. I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else in the chat. Anyone else concerned by Rasmus' injury record? Always, Alex. We said it last year. We've said it again this summer. Chronic back issues linked with hamstrings. Always the same. Always the same. You always have bad back issues linked with hamstrings. And we're seeing this constantly with him now. Bjorn says, Fabian Ruiz is far from good enough. PSG fans can't stand him and he is begging for him to go to us. He might have had a few good games, but is bang average. Oof. I don't know about that, mate. Mainu is a young player. Even though he's that good, he would learn loads from a player like Rabiot. Professionals with experience go a long way in a team of young players. Adam, glad I came across your channel, mate. Really enjoying. Thank you. What's that say? Fishing the Dream. Nice one. Great name. I think I have the best YouTube names on in our community, actually. Rasmus is injury prone. 20 million plus 10 million add-ons if Scott McTominay scores or assists against us, says Rosme. Daz says Agate will be the most aggressive player we will have since Roy Keane. That's mad. I don't know. I thought Rojo was a bit of a loon. To be honest, mate, I thought he was an handful. Not in the right way either. Marcus Rojo. Headless chicken is the word I would use. Liked a bit of a 2-foot challenge, didn't he, our Rojo? God, hearts in mouth every time that man went in for a tackle. Red card waiting to happen. Must keep Leacher. Oh, God, that one went. Sorry, I had Stephanie's comment there. There it is. Must keep Leacher and Mainu fit all season. Just need their position partners to ease the pressure on them. Rotation, definitely. Fabian Ruiz is expensive and old. Turns 29 this season. No thanks. News on Lindelof. Nothing to update you, sadly, Neil, on Victor Lindelof. Delight averaging 8 matches last 5 seasons. Delict, that is. Not any bells ringing. And it's Euro 18. He came in, broke his foot. You just don't know with injuries, do you? You don't know. We can do what we can to actually stem the flow of really bad injuries, but still, anything can happen in a game. Remember Ryan Giggs around the same age as Rasmus, suffering with similar injury record. Hopefully, time heals, says Gricker. Harper Lee says, why can't United look to make senior players and have some experience in there? 29 is fine. At the right price it is, yes. But the comments are right. If it is too dear, it's not worth it. Adam bought another bid in for Braithwaite. Add a couple of million to your marvellous offer. Surely little Everton will give way. Steady on. Steady on. Stop winding us up. No, it's not. We're not going to happen. I think Sean Dyche has actually come out today and said that the new signing, centre-back signing that Everton have made, got nothing to do with Braithwaite or cover for Braithwaite or anything like that. So that's a non-starter as well, guys. I think Braithwaite, you can maybe look at him again next summer. Man United clearly haven't got the money, or not willing to spend the money is probably a better way of putting it. And that's a good thing. We have got the money, it would seem, but we're not going to waste it, which is everything United fans have been crying out for years. So we should be happy about this. And I'm just going to double check all of the other Manchester United news, guys, so bear with me a second. There isn't any more updates regarding Scott McTominay now. We covered Manuel Ugarte. And so, update on Sofyan Amrabat, actually, everyone, as well, is that he's been talked about by a lot of other clubs. I don't think he's going to be hanging around for much longer, put it that way. He's going to be looking at other clubs coming in for him. And I feel like Manchester United will wait a little bit too long. I think United's ambitions are closer to Rabiot's than Sofyan Amrabat right now. I think Ten Hag wants a different type of player in the team. And let's not forget, Ten Hag is an admirer of Rabiot as well. So, yeah, it's looking like the Moroccan is going to come back to the Premier League. But as it stands at the moment, with everything going on with Agate and Rabiot and things like this, Manchester United will not be the team that he goes back to. Paul, thank you for that super sticker, mate. Really appreciate that, buddy. Thanks again, all contributions, everybody. Everyone who's getting into the chats. Hello, Adam. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, all out. Eric Ten Hag must be thinking he's cursed, says Alex King. Neil says, do you think playing friendlies in the heat abroad opens them up to injuries? Usually when it's warmer, you don't get as many muscle injuries, mate. Keeping the muscles warm is a big thing, so no, I don't, actually. The pitches, yes. Good God, the pitches are shit over there in America. There's shit everywhere we go on tour. Like, the Asian pitches are crap. The American pitches are crap. They're just not used to football. It's hard to imagine the facilities that you've got in America that they can't get a decent pitch out there. It's madness. Adam, are we looking at left-backs? Left-backs are last, apparently from what Romano said, last purchase for Manchester United. And that could be as far as a loan. Amas is playing very, very well on tour at the moment. United will be keeping an eye on that. Obviously, when we get back on Monday from the tour, we'll have an update on Malacia as well, because Ten Hag will be wanting to know exactly what's happening with him, how his recovery is going, will he be available for the summer. So the players that are still at Carrington, that didn't go on the tour, joined by the players that were in the Euros, and let's not forget all of them players that have got to come back, which is quite a lot, and decent players at that. So all of that to come as well, guys. Keep your comments coming in, everyone. I'm going through as many as I possibly can right now. Where are we? I had one there a minute ago. But no one else gets injuries. We seem to be picking up playing on these pitches. Look, Rasmus was a hamstring, and Euro, a broken foot can happen on any pitch in the league. We've seen it. It doesn't matter where you're playing. Like, some pitches are worse than others. Some pitches don't help out. I think you get more sprains than anything on these pitches. And at first I thought that's what was happening with Euro. Well, it turned out it is his metatarsal now. So, yeah. Guys, we are only 35 likes away from that 400 mark. Get them likes in, guys. Let's finish the show strong and get them 400 up. Director of Football, Shaw needs to come back early and get in training for the medical team to sort things out with him. Not sitting on the beach eating kebabs. Harsh. But I know what you mean in terms of getting him back and making sure he's right. Regarding the Mazraoui deal, has the fee been agreed and we're waiting for Aaron Wan-Bissaka to leave, or we still need to agree a fee with Bayern? No, I think the agreement is in place with Bayern for Manchester United. I think everything is settled there. Agreement, personal terms, fully agreed. We are just simply waiting for Aaron Wan-Bissaka to be done. And then bang, in comes Mazraoui. Simple as that. Yes, Adam, and how many bad decisions has Eric Ten Hag made over the players we have now? A lot, and he needs to learn himself. Yes, we'll back that and say that as well. He is in charge of all of these players now, and is the one that's going to have to get the most out of them. Do you think Arsenal players injure us on purpose because they're worried over our new players and the team we are getting together? I would hope not, Sharon. I would hope not. I don't think they've got anything to worry about in terms of how far ahead they are of Manchester United right now either, but still. It was a rough game. It was a very, very rough game. Adam, the refs are as crap as the pitches. True, Cornish. Very true. else? Louise there, Kaz, there have been so many former physios from United come out and say the medical equipment is wildly out of date. That can't be helping. I think that will be rectified anyway. Has to be when you got someone like Brailsford in there. 100%. Hello to Alien in the chat as well. Getting, I think the injuries could be down to not having a stretching routine for the whole body. Look, it's the elite. You're elite sportsmen right now, and you're supposed to have elite setup. We cannot be thinking like these players aren't warming up and stretching properly. That would just be ridiculous and be the ultimate embarrassment for this football club. But still, like, you'd have to cover all areas, wouldn't you? Guys, that pretty much covers everything that we need to talk about. You're fully up to date. 4 live shows. You guys love it. 4 in one day. Madness. That's only a United story that can happen and make that day the way that it was today. But yes, we have done 4. Pleasure being with you all day, guys. As always, you've been absolutely immense. Please keep your likes coming on the video. Get your comments in on the video once it finishes its live. Everybody has been talking about the new little outro that we've got going on. Thank you to the sub guy for that as well. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. I will catch you first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock, with your morning update after everything that's happened overnight. News from the States, any updates on injuries, and more transfer speculation and dead certs. And here we go, possibly as well. But for now, guys, that is it. Thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. I think I'll go and get a beer. See you in a bit, everybody.